Hello, welcome back to Rev Endurance Sports and another edition of power meter discussions and how to train with one and how to use a power meter other than just seeing it as you're riding and judging your pace at that very moment. I'd like to talk to you about things that you may not be aware of. So these are, you have a certain amount of fatigue that you give your body on a daily basis, on a ride by ride basis, but then that fatigue is also cumulative over time. And so most training plans are set up to where you have 3 weeks of build and kind of a little bit of a recovery week, and then 3 more weeks of build and 1 week recovery, and so on and so forth, so that you give the body a stress over time, and then your body adapts to that stress, comes back better, faster, stronger, and then you give it a more stress, more recovery, more stress, more recovery, and you keep moving along through an annual training plan. So today I want to show you graphically how I've been doing that. Now, here's the thing. This year I've not been training as I typically do. My tagline on my Strava is basically I'm taking a year off of these kinds of epic things, but it's just ingrained in me on how to train. And so I just do it that way anyway, even if I'm not training for a specific goal. So the volume is less, the intensity is less, everything is reduced. However, the methodology and the principles still endure. Okay. So let's get to some graphics because it'll illustrate my point much, much better. Okay. The first thing I wish to show you is if you're on Strava, you know what this looks like. So what I've done here is I've done distance by monthly, and you can see May, June, and July. You can see a nice progressive build, okay? And elevation gain, I've kept the elevation down, but even still, it's and we ride, or I should say I ride, and people that ride with me, I ride by elevation and hours. I don't really care about mileage. So here's May, June, and July. You can see that ramp up. That's monthly. And then time is what I prefer to ride by, but there's always going to be stuff that gets in the way. But it is still showing a nice progression. Okay, so that's on Strava. And those that care to know, my mileage is way down for the year, and so is my elevation. So, I'm barely over 5,000 miles for the year. And I'm sorry about the camera shaking so much. Barely over 5,000 miles and barely over 400,000. So this being August, I'm usually at about 700,000 or 800,000 feet as I'm working towards 1,000,000 feet for the year. Okay, so that is annual stats. That is the 3-month thing. So what I want to show you, though, is this. This chart looks like a bunch of squiggly lines. I know. But let's make this simple for you. The pink line is showing you the stress you're putting on your body. So here's the pink line. That's the stress. And the yellow line is how much recovery you're giving your body. So obviously, if you stress it a lot here, then you're not giving it much recovery, right? So high stress, and then your recovery is pretty low. But what I want to show you is that these two lines diverge significantly, and now they are coming closer. And here, they intersect right here, which was yesterday, August 2nd. the event that I am doing on Saturday is a 100-miler with about 8,000 feet. So what you want to do with your power meter and with your power data is the pink line. You want to keep stressing your body. The yellow line is eventually you want these two lines to converge because you've given your body enough stress, but then you're slowly tapering and giving your body time to recover. So when they intersect here, that means you are fit and you are fresh to ride hard, okay? So, like I said, even though I'm not really training for this event, and that's finger quotes, and even though I am not racing this year, I'll get back to that next year, but after, 4 or 5 years of climbing 1,000,000 feet and doing double centuries and doing Everesting, I just decided to take a year off, right? But here, this yellow line is going to continue to go up because today's only Tuesday and the event is on Saturday, right? So here's the event that I'm doing. It's called Tour to Big Bear, and it's 8,000 feet of climbing in 100 miles. So if we scroll here a little bit, there's the data from last year. And last year was also an easy year because my training partner, Lori, who is featured quite a bit on this channel, by the way, we just did a video on why for this event and the events going forward, she switched from a 5236 mid-compact to a 5339 standard crankset. And yeah, this is a climbing event. And yes, she switched back to a 5339. Okay, but the point is that here we are. We've got an event that's up at elevation. I think the lowest it drops, let's see, that might be somewhere around here. Yeah, it drops, well, maybe a little lower. Yeah, I guess 6,200 feet elevation is the lowest it'll drop for the day. And it summits twice at 8,443. So, I live at sea level here in San Diego. And there is a lot of talk about, well, if you live at sea level, it's probably best to just show up the day before an event, ride the event at elevation, and you'll be fine. Then there's the other thought that, well, maybe you need 2 weeks to acclimatize to the elevation. Now, it's been my personal experience that whenever I've gone to elevation on the first day, second day, I feel fantastic. I don't feel a significant power loss. But if I stay at elevation for 3-4 days, my performance does start to decline. But that's a topic for another video, but it's a nice little teaser so we can talk about climbing at elevation. So I live at sea level, and this is 8443, summiting twice. And it's going to be a very well supported event. However, there is threats of thunderstorms and mudslides. And just for fun, let me see if I can pick on one of these pictures from last year. Yeah, I sat a lot. There it is. The rib stop at this event is phenomenal. Unfortunately, it comes really early in the ride. and you still got another 60 miles to go or something like that. But, okay, so back to Training Peaks. This is one of the most important uses of a power meter. You can train, you can actually see your daily fatigue, your chronic fatigue. So you have acute fatigue and chronic fatigue. Watch it grow. Watch your yellow line drop because that's the amount of recovery you are not giving your body. Stress in the pink, no recovery or lack of recovery in the yellow. When that training stress balance starts to come up, when that yellow line comes up and intersects and actually starts going up, which you'll see like here. So if you take time off the bike for whatever reason, your body starts to recover very quickly. Now, all of this data is derived from your FTP. Your FTP, your functional threshold power, then all the formulas are derived from that. So that's how the body knows how much stress you're giving it and how much recovery you're giving it. Okay, if you like this type of content, please let me know, because I've been training with a power meter since like 2003, 2004. I've been coaching people, and if you want to know more, I would be glad to talk more about power meter training and how to get yourself prepared for an event. Okay, thanks so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you up the road.